what's going on? It's Bill Burr. How are you? I got the video this time, huh? Look out, Joe Rogan. I'm coming for you, man. Fucking with you. Somehow try to make that negative. I'm back here at the Troubadour. One of the great places, rock and roll history. We're helping them out here by, we're going to be selling some posters, autographed posters. Did I sign those yet? I haven't, have I? All right. Autographed posters. And help raise a little bit of money, help save these live venues for when the smart people, the doctors, finally get a cure for this thing, right? And then they can inoculate all the fucking dumb cunts who won't wear a fucking mask. Who will not wear a mask. Speaking of that, I was, how do I tell this story? I'm just going to tell it. I'm just going to tell it to you. I'm going to tell it to you. And I'm going to tell it to you. Just editing to your life right now. All right, so I was telling this story about that gig I tried to do down when I was down like the beach, and I showed up and the owner of the club wasn't wearing a mask and everybody was all jammed in and I was going like, I'm like, dude, where's your mask? And she was just like, oh, are you from L.A.? Long story short, I'm like, yeah. And she goes, oh, we're down near the beach, you don't get it. We got the breeze. And she was trying to say that the breeze would just, I don't know, make the virus relax so it can put its feet up or some shit, right? So, so whatever. So I'm telling this story because it was ridiculous. It was it's everything that makes the internet ridiculous. See, when I was growing up, you had to accomplish something to get published. You had to demonstrate. If you're going to be a talking head, you had to get some sort of degree, something. Now at the internet, anybody can chime in, which is fine, but the problem is everybody thinks they're smart. And the reality is if you look at your high school transcript, you weren't that smart, were you? Or maybe you were. Maybe you were the valedictorian. But what do those fucking people usually end up doing? They're book smart. If you write it down, they'll read it, and then you ask them the question, and they can vomit out what the fuck they just read. That doesn't make you smart. Just means you can remember shit. So then in life, you got all of these super smart people that got straight A's. They spend the rest of their life just running out, getting people shit. Because they can remember. It makes no sense. So anyway, I'm telling this fucking story. Let's talk to this camera over here. I'm going to work it. Like all the great front men that have been up here. What about the front women? This place has been sexist for years. There's never been a woman on this stage. That's why I'm down here supporting it. Kidding. So I'm telling this story to a group of people over Zoom being safe. I tell them this story of this lady telling me, hey man, you're down on the beach, we got the breeze. So I just tell them this story and people laugh. And then one person in the group goes, if you took mushrooms, you could get past that. And I'm like, I didn't say what. I was thinking what, because I didn't know the rest of the people in the group, and I didn't want to be a cunt. So I must have said what. I go, what do you mean? He goes, yeah. He goes, you could get past that, and then you could see yourself in her. Now, all I wanted to say was that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my fucking life. This isn't about having empathy. This is about being a fucking moron in the middle of a fucking pandemic. I'm so sick of people taking mushrooms and then acting like they're fucking, they sat down with a Native American and smoked some sort of peace pipe and they understand how the universe comes together. If you took mushrooms, you'd realize maybe this reality is just like a dream and like the whole relation to even like this chair. Is it an idea of a chair? Or is it's just like, or maybe you're on mushrooms and I'm sober. How about that? That's what hallucinating sounds tremendous to me. I am not anti that. If I wasn't a fucking psycho, I would be eating mushrooms every day. It's just, I don't need to see the demons in my head come to life. All right? They've been in there a long fucking time, and I don't want to let them out. So, but I think there's nothing wrong with doing that type of shit. I am actually envious of people that do it. Go out in the desert, man, and fucking take peyote. It sounds fucking awesome. It sounds as awesome as cocaine and heroin sound terrifying, and pills, all of that shit. It seems like this, like, happy shit, cool shit to do, and then the fucked up shit, right? Because everybody I know who's sober still smokes weed and fucking takes mushrooms. As Josh Adam Myers calls it, California sober. So, anyway, yeah, I'm just getting so fucking sick of this like, I don't mind it, doesn't bother me if somebody like takes hallucinogens, but however you say the word, but just don't fucking come at me like you're now smarter. Like these fucking people are going like, dude, you take mushrooms, it like resets your brain. It's like hitting the refresh button on your laptop. And it's like, I'm sorry, and where did you go to medical school? Or my other favorite thing is whatever happened to them is now going to happen to you because it happened to them, and evidently they are the litmus test. I mean, litmus test, right? Jesus Christ. I mean, you fucking look at these goddamn scientists who are smart. Okay, they don't just torture one rat to death. They do it to hundreds. They didn't just take the shampoo and rub it in one rabbit's eyes. They did it to a whole generation. And that's why Head and Shoulders works so well. Because they just didn't do it to one fucking rabbit and be like, okay, now it works. The amount of animals that you would have to kill before you could draw a conclusion to tell me what mushrooms do to my brains is just like off the charts. And that's why these fucking PETA people need to be put down like all these dogs they're trying to save. Oh, look, here's my tea. Huh? I brought a tea, but yeah. I brought a tea bag. You know what's funny? There's no way to say tea bag without snickering a little bit. I brought a tea bag. I'll tell you what's wrong with this country. When I was a kid, a tea bag was a tea bag. It wasn't about dropping your balls in some woman's mouth you just met. Well, I'm very excited to be back here. As I'm sitting here doing this, it's probably annoying as hell to people listening. Sorry. This is me. If you ever want to hear what taking a tea bag out, sticking in I finally learned how to drink tea. Do you know that? My dumb ass, not only would I leave the bag in there, I would also still try and drink it while it was piping hot. And what I've learned is if you're just fucking patient, it's going to come down to a nice temperature. You take the bag out, and then you sip and you drink it. And then you tell people about the mushrooms you took, man. If you took mushrooms, you could let that go. It wasn't like, I could see if I just brought it up out of nowhere. We were talking about the pandemic. Maybe I need to take mushrooms to let this guy tell me to take mushrooms to let that go. I don't know what it is. Anyway, so yesterday I watched an amazing documentary on YouTube. I'm big on YouTube, man. I like that shit. You give them your credit card, you just fucking rent a movie. It's like $4. So I rented this documentary on Quiet Riot. I forget what the fuck it was called. It was a lyric to one of their songs that I know. Let me see what it is here. Hang on a second. Dude, it's from Bang Your Head. Bang your head. You know the song? I got the power. What is it? I got something like an alligator. Remember that? How does that? I'm a laser, 6-string and razor. He probably sang it right on the stage. I got a mouth like an alligator. The name is called Well, You're Here, There's No Way Back. And I'm like, that's an odd name for a fucking documentary. And then I realized it was lyrics to that song that I heard. Well, while you're here and there's no way back, bang your head. Right? So anyway, so I watched the fucking thing. And, Frankie Banali, rest his soul, was doing the thing, and you got to see, like, he's just one of those drummers, like, the second he sits down, you almost hear a thud, like just heavy fucking rock drummer, fucking awesome drummer. And it's an amazing story of that band and that album, Metal Health, and how it kicked in the door basically for the whole Sunset Strip, and all of these bands were able to run through this porthole that they created because the album went number one. I forget the two. It passed The Police, Synchronicity, and Michael Jackson Thriller. I mean, this fucking album was huge. So it caused the entire music business industry to be like, holy shit, where the fuck are these guys from? And then they came down and all of that stuff that you've seen, all of these bands that ran through that door. I would guess anyone from Motley Crue to Guns N' Roses and all those bands that I grew up with that I loved. So it was a really amazing documentary, and the level of comedy in it is fucking amazing. Just the sheer amount of band members, the bass player, every time they go to a gig, like his fucking amp doesn't work. And it's always right as they're not, like it works at sound check. And then they'll just be like, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage. I'll be like, I got no power. Wait a minute, I got no power. So they had that shit. They had like a fucking 90 lead singers. So anyway, the lead singer dies, unfortunately, Kevin DuBrow. So now they got to get a new lead singer. So then you got to choose. You got to be like, all right, we're going to get like a proven guy, or we just going to go out there and try and get somebody that sounds like him. So they went that road. They try to get somebody that sounded like him. And they get this fucking dude in there who was basically painting houses. He comes into the audition and just fucking crushes it. Sounds just like Kevin DuBrow. But the thing is he looks like a fucking lobster fisherman. He's got like his hair's so it's like white and yellow. It's like hanging down. He just looks like, I don't know. It's like he looks like he played in like the NFL in the 1950s when there was the idea of face masks was just coming around, right? This guy lived a life. So they pick him. They say, you're in the band. So we got to make you look like a rock star, right? So they fucking dye his hair, dye his goatee. They get him all cleaned up. He did look great. And then they took him down to like the rock star store, which is, I don't know the rules of rock, but there's just something fucking hilarious to me that you still have to wear leather pants even if you're 60. So they take him into this fucking high-end Hot Topic place, and they're picking out shit that, like, I mean, when I was a kid, whores would wear it when they were like 18 and 19, when they could eat McDonald's and still have a flat stomach. So they got this fucking old sea captain buying these fucking things. But you know, they ended up picking out, you know, the guy picks out these ridiculous leather pants, and I almost bursted out laughing, and then the guy they're picking goes, oh yeah, man, I saw those. And I'm just like, all right, I guess I don't know. But then somehow when they were all on stage, it looked right. But when he was in the store and he just looked like this guy and they just showed him painting a house, the fucking thing was funny. So they get him up there and they're doing the rehearsals and he's doing great. I'm kind of going to ruin the documentary for you, but I just found it fascinating. So the drummer, Frankie, still has a lot of issues with, like, he came up with Kevin. They were brothers, right? They had nothing and they came up together. So they had this bond. So he has all of this grief that when he plays, he no longer sees Kevin. When I don't know, I just lost my train of thought because I was just thinking, it's freaking me out that he was actually on this stage. Yeah, like he doesn't see Kevin. Then he had like anger issues because his friend died and then just left him with this thing because the fans were really fucking mean. Because at first, you know, in the emotion of the guy dying, he goes, quiet riot is over. And then 3 years later, it's like the guy's got bills to pay. He's allowed to get past grief. And then when he wants to do it again, all these alleged fans of the band start shitting all over him, which I don't get. It's like, it's his band. He gets to decide if you don't want to see it. Like, just some of the shit that people wrote was just really asshole things, right? So anyway, so he's going through these emotions of like missing his friend and he basically has a bunch of unresolved issues. He's an old school New York guy. So he's just, you know, paved over the emotions. So I totally related to that. And he's a fucking great dad. You know, he has a daughter. He's just, you can just see, he's awesome, right? And just the way his daughter talked about him, you could see that. So anyway, so they hire this guy. And you can immediately tell by the guy's body language, he needs to be built up. And instead of building him up, Frankie is like taking out a little bit of his anger that the dude's not there. He's just saying this shit like, you know, you're doing great in the rehearsals. You know, and we can rehearse this thing another 9, 10 fucking times, but you know, it doesn't mean shit till you get out there in front of those live fans. And I'm telling you, you know, you can have a good show and everything's going to go perfect. But then the next show could be only okay.